I bought a new MIDI keyboard to replace my old MIDI and it arrived yesterday. So I decided to open it on camera and also explain to you why I needed a MIDI keyboard as a mix engineer that I am. So before now I had the Alesis Q49 Mark II. It was a little budget keyboard that I bought around 3 years ago to handle a production that I had to do at the time. I had very little budget and this was the best I could get. I just got it on Amazon for about £70. Before now, I used to be a fan of Alesis MIDIs. I had the VI49 at some point, but then I sold it because I got bored and I felt like the keys were clunky. Anyways, I got this one. And yeah, the reason why I have stopped using it is I'm a mix and mastering engineer. I don't produce as much. For a few years, I stopped producing. I just kept mixing and mastering records. I just didn't have any motivation or inspiration to make instrumentals or produce records, except for here and there where I'm working on my brother's records or like close artists where they need me to add stuff to it. That's when I will use this keyboard. And I'll tell you, I just didn't enjoy the experience with this MIDI keyboard. And this right here is the Arturia Keylab Essentials 49. It came in this lovely, rather confusing box. Makes you feel like it's like one part of it was turned off, but I understand that's just the design language of it. It's the budget option of the Keylab 49, the flagship model by Arturia. If you are looking for a 49 key MIDI keyboard and you go on YouTube or pretty much anywhere on the internet to do your research, you'd find the Keylab 49 and the Native Instruments S49 and A49 pop up. So these are like 4 MIDI instruments that are top of the line. There's Novation, Launch Keys, there's so many others, but for me, the top picks were between Arturia and Native Instruments. After a few days of deliberation, I decided to go with the Arturia one, the Keylab Essentials, and not get the flagship because there's few extra, not even few, there's a lot more extra features on the more expensive version, the actual Keylab 49, that I think I don't need because when I'm producing, most of the controls that I make, most of the things, I'm just making changes on the VST instruments on my DAW using mouse and keyboard. So I'm not really the guy to tweak my VSTs from the MIDI controller itself, you know. So I feel like for people like myself whose use case is just to input audio MIDI signals into the DAW, I think this is good enough. All the reviews say the key bed feels alright because that's one of the major problems I had with the Alesis. The key bed wasn't that great. It was really, it feels cheap and plasticky to be honest. But this one, most of the reviews are very good. So yeah, I believe it. Bolo, the producer, he makes wonderful MIDI keyboard reviews, and I watched his video. He said it was alright, although not as good as the flagship one, which is about 350, if I'm not mistaken, pounds, and this is only 179 pounds, almost half the price. A no-brainer for me. I'd rather get this anytime. And when it comes to me getting a MIDI keyboard, this has got nothing to do with mixing and mastering. The thing is just, as a musician, when you are trying to leave something that you've been doing for so long, music is a spiritual thing. It kind of makes you feel like you're about to go insane when you try and attempt to ditch an art that you've practiced for many years and you've gotten so good at. I used to be a producer before I became a mix engineer. It was from music production that I developed the interest for mixing records, you know, to just further understand how the production process goes, what makes these things sound like this. Because I knew it just didn't end at production, just directing artists and making instrumentals. So yeah, I've always been a producer first before being an engineer. And recently I've had more time on my hands. I've been at home a lot more. So I find that I'm getting more ideas and I'm getting inspiration. So why not? If I'm gonna try producing again, it's only right that I have something that would drive my passion. I'm not one of those guys that say your gears don't matter. Yes, I accept that. I could still have been doing anything with this one, but come on, when you've had a taste as a person with experience at piano playing, if you've had a taste of good stuff, it's difficult to go back. Like I said, I just bought this out of desperation. It was just a quick fix. I just needed something to move on, but right now I'm trying to sell it. And yeah, when I felt the key bed and I just didn't like what it felt like, I had to get something good. So yeah, this packaging looks really good. I like the way they put these things together. Keylab Essential 49. This is the Mark 3. This is the newest one on the market. There's a Mark 2, and it says it comes with Analog Lab V, Ableton Live Lights, Native Instruments, The Gentleman, which is a piano VST. Analog Lab is a synth. A really good one, popular one as well. Loop Cloud, I don't know what that is. Model D, Melodics, I know what Melodics is, but I don't know what Loop Cloud is. I'll find out very soon. A few things here on the pack in different languages. On the back, it's labels, basic labels, and telling you what's in here. I won't try to read this. I will not try to read this on this video. I'll read it later on when the video is done. So yeah, the first jacket is out, and now I look at the main thing. I have suspicions that this unit was returned because it's not very clean. It looks like a returned unit, but regardless if it's returned or not, I'm cool with it. Anyways, let's open it up. Straight out the box, it is packed with care. Put the brown box back down. Let me see what's at the back. Same thing on both sides. And this is the MIDI keyboard itself. There's a nice little envelope. I assume in here is going to be my license keys and my registration details for the included softwares. Yeah. Right. So this is like a list of things that I can get software wise, and there's a USB-C to USB-A cable with an angle. I love it. I really love this. Although I don't use USB-A anymore, everything on my setup is USB-C. My computer is not here at the moment, but so that's it. I'll put this right back, and my registration code is here. There's a serial number, there's a QR code. But yeah, I'm not gonna show you that. I don't want you to go register my shit before me. Yep, I'll put this back to the side, and the sweet cable, put it to the side as well. Ooh, I love the feeling. At some point, I used to believe these materials would help in sound isolation. And I remember back home in Nigeria, most of the producers having egg crates on their walls for isolation purposes. Trust me, them things don't work. They do not work at all. I've tried it, they don't work. If you have a room that's you're trying to dedicate to music production, if it's your house, if you have the rights to nail things in the wall, just get proper sound isolation. It's easy. You can learn to do it online. Fiberglass, wooden frames. I won't be the one to tell you, but just go online and try to get proper sound treatments for your studio room, because you cannot replace that with mixing. You cannot mix what you cannot hear. So if you're trying to do proper mixing, you need to be in a proper room. So sound isolation for mix and mastering engineers is super essential. I cannot stress it enough. Finally, taking the paper support out. I know that paper blocks are in there to prevent this keyboard from receiving severe shock if it happens to fall in transit or whatever. Plastic bag, plastic stuff. Put that down here. Off the rip, I like what it looks like. It's plastic. It has a little wooden part on the side for the ASMR people. I really don't be getting what that means, but anyways. Yeah, Arturia plastic. I'm good with plastic. I don't need it to be aluminum or anything. It's just gonna be one place for time, except when I travel and I need to take it, which I rarely do. I feel like I've outgrown the phase of moving my equipment around. I used to do that a lot back in the day, but not anymore. I really like how they put this foamy stuff underneath the keys, so while it's in transit or in packaging, weight doesn't mount on the keys to make the keys fall off beforehand. So yeah, this is under the keys. I like this. Good stuff. Plastic wrap on the keyboard. What I usually do with things like this is, because me, I'm a kind of person who might wake up tomorrow and decide to sell this keyboard again if I am disappointed enough. So I keep everything from the packaging. I mean, as much as I can, not everything, but as much as I can. I'll try to put this back here. And if you notice, I rarely throw my boxes away. I've had the Alesis for what? For 3 years, and the packaging is still intact. Everything is in there. So I'm trying to sell it on Facebook Market, and if I find a buyer for it, it's just like a new product with that was open. So it's like an open box to them because everything is in there. Well, in this video, I am not going to do spec reviews or give you spec sheets of this keyboard. There's better reviewers online who have made really comprehensive videos of the Arturia Keylab Essentials 49. So I am not going to do that. I will not even go as far as plugging it into my computer to try it out. But I can tell you right now, holding the keys, yeah, it's plastic. It feels plasticky, but it feels good to play. I can feel the rust. I can feel how rusty I am. These things don't feel familiar to me anymore. I will have to go through so much practice to get myself back on track, and I'll keep you updated if I make a song. So let's say first song I make on this MIDI keyboard, I'll post it on the channel and I'll tell you about that. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the purchase. I'm quite happy with it. The keys feel good. The keys is the main reason why I replaced the other one, Keylab Essential. So maybe someday, if my production start making sales, I start selling these instrumentals again, I might just buy the full featured Arturia Keylab. But until then, I've got the little one here. I like it. I can see the control port for the sustain pedal. There's a MIDI out. I don't use that. There's a USB-C. That's all I need. So I need the USB-C on the sustain pedal, which I have. The weight it's light, but it's not as light as the Alesis. It doesn't feel so light that it feels cheap. It feels as it's supposed to feel, if that makes sense. The weight is just enough for the size. It doesn't feel heavier than it looks. It doesn't feel lighter than it looks. So yeah, I like the weight. It's something that I could carry around, if, you know, back in the day when I was moving around producing, making beats. But now everything just happens in this room. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm happy. Sometimes I just buy. There's certain times I buy products and when I open it, I feel annoyed. But that's not the case for this one. For this one, I feel like I made the right decision. And yeah, that's what happens when you research before you make a purchase. Anyways, thank you very much for watching my Arturia Keylab Essentials 49 Mark III unboxing video. Let's get back to mixing records, and I'll give you updates and keep you updated You should watch this video right here talking about headphones. That's the best headphones that I use for mixing. If you're a mix engineer, you should watch this one right here. It's very important. Cheers. See you again sometime.